Hi there, it's Louise here of Timeless Craft Mama, and today I'm sharing a scrapbook layout process video with you created for Scrapbook Boutique, and it's for the October 2016 mood board challenge. I've entitled my layout Fly, and you can see that the inspiration has come from that central blue/purple kind of butterfly image, and I've also picked a photo accordingly because in this particular image I feel like it's really appropriate for that fly title. So the first thing I've done is had a little bit of a look through my stash, and I've pulled out this craft paper with butterflies on it, and I've given it a coat of clear gesso. What I'm going to do now is then just use the Distress ink pad and add some water and splatter that around the page. Now I've let that dry, and I'm going to start to layer over the top of it again. I wanted it to have a sort of an ombre feel to it, so I have gone with multiple layers. You can see I let them dry, and the intensity of the colour actually changes as I build this particular layout. Now you could, if you wanted to, dry these with a heat gun, but my personal preference is to let them dry naturally. So this particular layout took me over a couple of days because as I applied layers, I'd put this page aside, let it dry naturally, and then come back and add to it as we progressed. So I've taken a paper from the Cocoa Vanilla collection and I've adhered that to the page, and the next thing I'm going to do is use the Distress crayons with a little bit of water and just my finger to spread some of that colour around. Now the final product of this page turned out a lot more purple than it did blue, but I don't particularly hate the layout. I think the colours have come together quite well, and you can see that I'm going in there with that second layer of blue/purple, depending on your perspective, and just adding another element of colour. So again, letting that dry, giving that Distress crayon time to set so that it doesn't mix with the other mediums, and then I'm going to apply some Distress grit paste. And this is only the second time I've used the grit paste, but if you haven't had a chance to get your hands on some, make sure you do, because it has this really interesting texture that's hard to describe. It's got grit in it, but it is so smooth and it really spreads like butter, but the final dried product gives you this really interesting rough but texture paste kind of texture. Now once that grit paste has dried, again I've gone in with the crayons and just moved some of that colour around with some water and my finger just into the positions that I wanted it. Then I've gone with some black splatters and popped some black splatters over the top just to break all that colour up a little bit and tie in those black stripes. Now with my photo, I'm applying just some white gesso around the outside just to help me blend that photo with the page, because you'll see I'm going to actually use those Distress crayons again, and I'm going to pop that colour around the outside. So this is plain old boring old plasterer's tape, but it really does give such a fabulous texture. Now this is where my video decided that it wasn't going to work, so I've done the same technique around that photo by adding the Distress crayon with my finger. So that's how I got that purple and blue colour around that photo, same as I've spread it around the rest of the page. Now what I'm doing is I'm using some twine, and off camera I'm going to glue that so you'll see the finished product on both sides, and I've used some staples there as well. I fussy cut some of these butterflies from another sheet of paper that also was craft and black, and I think that just helps break up all that sort of white and purple on the page. I've made my title just with some items that I had in my stash, and I did toy with using a Distress crayon on this white flower, but I ended up leaving that off the layout, so don't just disregard that part of the video. The final thing is I'm taking some of the blue cabochons and popping those around the page just to give that little bit of sparkle and a little bit of glitter. So that's my inspiration page for the October 2016 mood board. I hope you enjoyed that from me. It would be great to see you play along with us, and don't forget to check out Scrapbook Boutique for the supplies used in this video. Thanks so much.